come now, darling. What you doing? Okay, right, so we're off to Nonthaburi today. I've got a little project or a little inconvenience that has been beset by the weird postal system over here that's affected one of my friends in Australia, which I'm going to have to sort out. But aside from that, the title, right, why Thailand? Why YouTube? And why bother? Well, that's a mouthful really when you start to think about it, but I think it's time to really sort of take a little bit of a backseat and have a look at this whole 8-year project I've been on. Oh my God. Anyway, we're going to Nonthaburi Post Office to sort out this problem, then we're going to have lunch, so stick around. So the reason why we're out at Nonthaburi Post Office here is liquids in a parcel going to Australia, like just girl stuff. It looks like we'll work out what we're going to do with that later on. I have no idea. But seriously, you've got to know the rules. So, like, you can't send liquids, okay? That's one of those things. I don't think it's Thailand. I don't think it's anything that goes international air travel. You just can't send liquids. You know, it's part of the whole, 9/11 shit as far as I know. Anyway, we're done now. Now we're just going to find somewhere to have lunch. Never been in this area of Bangkok before. It's a... And that's the new pink line or orange line. I don't know which colour it is. This is Nonthaburi. And I haven't been out this area before. Almost got lost getting here with U-turns and oh my God, don't start. Anyway, we'll get to lunch and we'll talk about Thailand. So here we are at the fort. What have we got? We got, oh, what's that? Tops. Yeah, Top supermarket. I've not actually, we've been here a couple of times before. Shania comes here all the time for sukiti, no? Oh my God, so much durian.
1 kilo 99 baht.
1 kilo 99, what? 99? 1 kilo 99 baht. Oh my God, you can smell it from here, even with the breeze blowing. Yes, it's durian season. I don't know what they tap them for. I don't know the techniques here. But anyway, getting back to the story, why Thailand? Well, I think you probably already know why I chose Thailand to put up my roots or put down my roots, put up, the whole thing. It's because of her. She made me come to Thailand. Yes. Why? Why did you? Why? Basically, we took her to Australia twice and she didn't like it. It was just a number of things I'm not going to go into, and that's a whole discussion in itself. But the main reason I'm here in Thailand is because she's in Thailand, right? One of the major problems we really did face was the fact that when she was there, she felt really ostracised because of the fact that Australia is a completely different culture. Here in Thailand, we have a fairly liberal policy of gender dysphoria and everything else like that, and they can be themselves. In Australia, you have to conform. Basically, you have to fit into the umbrella that they paint. It's getting worse in America, of course, but it's things like that. You can't be yourself, right, in a place like Australia because of the, keeping up with the Joneses. And that was the thing that was really bothering me back in Australia as well. You weren't anybody really, unless of course you were, plugging the system, if you know what I mean. And quite frankly, I think the system sucks. But outside that, I chose Thailand because, well, the climate. Before I left, I was just onset arthritis and problems with my knees and my problems with my back. The warm weather here alleviates that. So it was because of her and health, basically. That's why I chose Thailand. Nice and simple. I don't know, what is it? I can't just read Thai, darling. Thai food.
Good idea, nah.
You want to go in here?
No, go inside.
Oh, you want to go? Okay.
Have one choice.
One choice.
One choice.
You have one choice.
Before you go this one with me, you remember?
Oh, that's right. We go here before. Yeah. The food train thing. That was weird. You got to try these things once in a while yourself. From Australia, like we don't really have a culture of food because it's such a multicultural society. And I think, you know, we grab, you know, recipes from all around the world and call it our own. But I think really the only cuisine that's really truly Australian is the Sunday afternoon barbecue.
Make new stop car.
Oh my God. They're expecting something more parking. Oh my God. Anyway, so that was why Thailand. It was just the obvious choice. She couldn't really live in Australia and be herself. Huh? Oh, bakery. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there'll be a pin for the fourth down here. I don't need to put a pin for a non-Tilbury post office, so forget about that one. But she's going to owe me owe us a lunch for all that running around. But that's when she gets back here. But outside that, yeah, we're just looking for somewhere. We'll get some Korea house. No? You want to go and eat Korea?
What about food?
What? John's salad. That's novel. Salad's not a big thing here in Thailand. Premium Korean restaurant. Yeah, anyway, so back to the story. Yeah, why Thailand? It's obvious. You know, I wanted to put my feet up and not have to deal with the bullshit. And basically being in Thailand, you don't have to deal with the bullshit. It's just one of those things. You know? You're outside the system. What's this? So we got Mexicana barbecue pork. Okay. Chipotle chicken. Okay, one then this one and this.
Yeah. Did you not try this?
Okay. Let's go and try some Mexican. Oh my God. We're in Thailand and we're eating Mexican, really. And there we got Shania in the shadow this time. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah. Well, I'm the one who's telling the story, so maybe we won't see Shania in this one. Who knows? Well, you want to come and sit with me? Then you're too dark over here, darling. Can I see your face?
Can.
There we go. I see better now. Okay. Now we can sit down and eat lunch. Oh, while I cook our food. Interestingly, he actually told you how many chilies in each one of those things there. Anything more than the one chili mark. Yeah, it's a bit too hot for me. So of course I'm really, really dying for it. But yeah, getting back to the story. So that was, you know, why Thailand. It's a fairly simple thing, right? I was at that point in my life where, you know, I had reached in my career a process where, you know, I'm second guessing myself. You know, what am I doing here? You know, I started in a small company which became a big company, and then it got taken over by Americans. And it no longer was the company I joined. And I was 55, turning 56, and I sort of said, well, I've got enough money, and if I budget correctly, I don't have to work another day in my life. I could have jumped back into the workforce and, you know, took another job somewhere else, you know, because as I said, I just wasn't enjoying working there anymore, you know, having to deal with, you know, the bureaucracy of America in an Australian-owned or Australian company, which was then, of course, bought by an American company. So what do? It's just one of those sort of things. You just make up those decisions. I could have stayed in the workforce for another 10 years and continued to add to that wealth, you know, bucket, but ultimately, you know, I couldn't really sort of sustain an 8-hour work day because of my back and my knee and my feet. They were just getting worse. So what do? Well, you just bite the bullet. That's end of story, bite the bullet. Anyway, enough of the title. That's why Thailand. Why didn't I choose somewhere else around Asia? Well, because, as I said, China's in Thailand, so it's end of story. Why YouTube? I'm pretty sure you're wondering why I threw YouTube into that whole thing. I don't know. What? What you want? Mao. Yeah, why YouTube? That's a good one. Again, it's just one of those sort of things. You've got a lot of time on your hands. I really couldn't do sport. I could sit in front of a computer all day and play games and look at social media and everything else. But, you know, the physical sort of side of life is something I am limited to, so I can't do that. and I get a little bit jealous with Jerry and people like that playing pick-a-ball and playing golf and a few other things like that. Even sort of, we've been talking about going to do some 10-pin bowling. That might even be a challenge as well. Thankfully, you don't really bend your toes too much in that sort of sport. I might be able to actually get a ball down the centre lane, who knows? But it's what do you do when you get here? When I first started the whole YouTube, this is the thing. There was I think the numbers there was about 3 million, probably top end 3 million YouTube channels in 2016. Although I put some videos up on YouTube before 2016 for our own personal memories. We have to really say 2016 was when I started doing the YouTube properly. Well, look, that's another thing, another story in itself. Properly, what is properly in YouTube? But yeah, when it comes down to looking at the YouTube thing, it's something you do. It fills your day. Quite honestly, I'd probably spend maybe a whole day of the week in the YouTube creation process. That's doing the thing, making the film, editing, getting it ready, the whole gamut. And it's something you do, and you get a little bit of pocket money from it. If you can get to that ledge level where you can get some pocket money. I know you can actually make some serious money if you're into YouTube, if you actually treat it like a business. But again, what's business these days? What is a business on YouTube? Most of it's just selling people's shit, and I'm really not into the whole idea of selling somebody else's crap, so I can't really do that. I get emails every day about people wanting me to sort of sponsor this product on Amazon, and I'm going, really? I'd never use it, so how could I even be honest about that? But ultimately, it comes down to the whole YouTube game. YouTube is just, it's a social platform. Now we've got something like this as saying, that was, it was 2016, there was 3 million channels. Now they're saying that there's upwards of 110 million active channels on YouTube. Yet, back in 2016, the audience, the audience umbrella was maybe 1.5 billion people watching YouTube, and now 2024, 8 years later, now we've got this sort of saying there's only about 2.5 billion people actually watching YouTube. Mind you, there are 8 billion people on the planet, so there's a lot of room to grow into that space there. And some of those spaces that are really starting to ramp up now are places like India, Malaysia. They're starting to get some pretty serious, numbers of people watching these days. And my channel doesn't cater for that audience. So I don't know how you're supposed to deal with that. YouTube is just one of those weird things. I suppose I'm also throwing it out there because, Jerry does watch this and he's feeling a little bit disheartened about the whole YouTube game, trying to guess what works and what doesn't, because there is no formula for a YouTube channel, right? Basically, the bottom line is you do it without thinking about making money, right? And generally what happens, there'll be 1 or 2 videos that'll just outrank everything else you do, and it just skyrockets your channel. That hasn't happened for me yet. Will it happen? Well, then maybe if I got better. I don't know. You've only got to go back 7 or 8 years in my channel. All the stuff's there. Try episode 5, episode 6, episode 7. I was really a novice back then, even though I had 6 years, experience behind a camera and doing, the stuff that sharing for our personal friends. But why YouTube? Well, it's the biggest. Well, and quite frankly, I'm still trying to rack my brains how to do that shorts format. I've had a go at it, and it just doesn't make sense. I can't condense things down into a 60-second bite. I don't think like that. That's how it works. It's just a weird system. Maybe I will get a clue at some stage and sort of start doing what other people are doing and adding the shorts into the YouTube again and putting it on TikTok and Instagram. But ultimately, the audience I'm trying to make contact with is the people who like to sit down and hear a story about life in Thailand, and really that's the focus of our channel, our life in Thailand. again, what's the difference that we're trying to get across? Well, the difference is, our relationship is a little bit outside the norm. Not that it should worry anybody else out there, because I'm not asking you to date Chanya, because I'm dating Chanya, okay? White people seem to get really up about this whole thing of transgender relationships. Well, I think they just need to take time out and start to work out what's wrong with their own life before they start demonising something they have absolutely no idea about. But anyway, that's the whole reason behind YouTube. Anyway, and let's get on the last one. Why do I bother? Well, that's a story in itself. But today we're just going to eat some food and see how we go. There we go. That's the first little Mexican. What's it say? Pork Mexicana. Barbecue Mexicana. Okay. It's got salad, which makes me happy, and it's got a little bit of okay. You can don't pull it. Wait till the nachos come. I think you like nachos. Wait for the nachos. We also got spaghetti, which is that's a one chili spaghetti. Hopefully I won't hiccup too much on that one. And that's cheese nachos with salsa. Something I haven't eaten for quite some time. Okay, darling, what you think? He's okay? Yummy? Yummy? Well, I've had Mexican before, but been to a few Mexican restaurants in the main city, and I've been very happy with the food here. This one here, I have to sort of say, not top of the line, but it's more of a, one of those fast food sort of places. So that's like, you get hamburgers, then you got McDonald's. This is like the McDonald's version of a hamburger, but in Mexican. It's designed to be fast. It's got all the flavours there, but the flavours aren't really overpowering. Service is pretty good though. Can't really complain about that. Anyway, getting back to the final part of this story here. Oh my goodness. Why bother? There's something that it's in the back of my mind every day. How can I help somebody else make a solid judgment on whether early retirement and a place like Thailand is a suitable option for those sort of people to sit down and just forget about what's going on in the big real world. And I have to say, that's the only thing that drives me. I suppose also to say, well, what people have constantly asked this particular question: how do you deal with all the negative comments because of our relationship? I said, well, how does it affect me? It has no effect on me. It's affecting them some way, and hopefully if I continue to do it, maybe they might just, relax and start to realise that their life is lacking something. It doesn't mean transgender something. Their life is just lacking something that's fundamental in making a happy life. And all they want to do is just demonise anything that doesn't fit inside their very, very narrow reality tunnel, which is really what it comes down to. The people I've met here in Thailand seem to have a very, very broad reality tunnel. That's why they're living here. They love the weirdness that Thailand has to offer. And in Thailand, it can be really weird. Look, I got 750 odd videos back there showing you the weirdness. I don't have to talk about the weirdness. Just go and just look at all the other videos. It's there to see. The style I'm doing here is like hand camera, minimal editing. So I'm not trying to fake anything for people. Trying to give you about the most realistic interpretation through my eyes about a weird culture, from an Australian point of view. And I'm pretty sure that from anybody's outside Thailand, it is a pretty strange culture when you come to think of it. There's a language barrier. Language is language. I learned a lot of different languages when I was growing up, and there's one language that's very universal across the planet. It's called body language. And it doesn't really matter what the words are that come out of somebody's mouth. Body language is something that if you learn it, it's universal. And quite frankly, I understand that particular part of the human psyche. because we are basically programmed from a very early age, and if you know the programs, you can avoid them. That's how it works. But anyway, why do I bother? I just think that if I can help one person out there make a successful go at living here in Thailand, then I've done a good job. Right now, I know I've helped hundreds of people make good decisions about Thailand because they've come up to me and told me that they really enjoy the style of video I do, because it's like it's raw, it's very minimal cut, and it's honest. I don't want to fake it anywhere. The whole point, if you start faking stuff, then of course you have to remember all the lies. And look, I got so much crap in my head, it's like I just can't keep a second narrative going. There's just not enough room. And like Johnny Mnemonic, I need a RAM upgrade. I'm 63 years old. You get the whole idea. But anyway, I love Thailand to bits. I don't ever want to have to go home. I love doing the YouTube stuff. The negative stuff doesn't bother me in the slightest. Right? One day, my style of video will become popular, and bang, it'll just go through the roof, because people have had enough of the fake shit out there, and they want something real. Right? Unfortunately, right now, the YouTube algorithms, the TikTok algorithms, and all the other freaking social media algorithms, it's all about, look at me, I'm the greatest. Well, there you go. Buy this shit. Well, you're not going to see that here. Well, I may put a t-shirt or two up in the channel at some stage in my life, and I can work out if that has an impact on my visa status, because there are specific laws about a foreigner living in Thailand about selling to Thai people, because it's one of those exclusive vocations that is not allowed for a foreigner. So I steer clear of selling anything. I'll give you the name of a good restaurant I go to. I'm quite happy with that. I'll tell you the bottom line. But ultimately, I'm just here to give you a bit of a snapshot of reality if you choose to live in Thailand. And transgender relationships is something you're going to have to get used to, because there's a good percentage of the population that are transgender. Well, not a great percentage. Like, I think there's actually more transgender in South America, or those areas. I'm just trying to think of all the different places. I actually want to go to the bathroom. I think Thailand ranks probably second or third in per head of population who identify as being transgender. America actually has a higher transgender population, right? But again, we're talking about statistics. They don't track that sort of statistic here. And again, I've talked about it before, there are, there's like 18 different gender stereotypes in Thailand. So a transgender person is only one of many of those gender dysphoria type processes going on. When you put that in a big banner, then yes, Thailand probably has the most gender diverse society, and they're happy with it. You can just be yourself, right? And I can be myself. I don't feel pressured to actually conform to anything, right? I'm a good person at heart. I want to share my experiences with people to obviously help them make a decision about whether Thailand is right for them, and hopefully, somewhere along the line, maybe it'll be worth something somewhere along the line, and there'll be some money involved, and I'll have to go through a really weird process of how do I set up a business for a media company to deal with, a work visa and everything else. And I think, when does that magical thing, when does it become not a hobby? It's the big question, in Thailand you have, they have 150,000 baht a year is the threshold before you have to start paying tax here in Thailand. So I think, if this channel was to up to that level of making 150,000 baht a year, maybe then something I'll have to look at, that sort of thing. But with a 2 million baht investment to actually set up a business, You know, there's some sort of weird numbers there I just don't understand. Right. For now, it's just a fun channel where we just invite people to come along. If you want to, you know, support the channel or support us with the Patreon, well, we only just love that. You know, we do have a buy me a coffee link as well. You know, if you want to buy me a coffee, I don't think that's not really income, is it? I don't know. I suppose for the letter of the law, maybe it is. I'm not going to explore it, right? When immigration turns up on my door and says you can't do it anymore, I say so. But you know, I've got there's 1,000 people in Thailand, foreigners in Thailand, doing YouTube the same as I'm doing, and I hear no stories about it being a problem, apart from those few channels that really want to put a really bad picture or paint a bad picture of Thailand for whatever reason. Not quite sure, but again, most of that's to do with the clicks. You know, we all know that a really, headline title about something going wrong here in Thailand, it'll get 1,000 more clicks than a video that just says, "Hi, we're having a lovely lunch today." It's just, that's what it is, you know? And that's how the whole game works. And, well, that's the game at the moment. There's a few people out there making squillions of dollars. Mr. Beast, things like that. Those names can... yeah. I don't even see myself in those sort of shoes, but you never know. The world is a weird place. She's found little trinkets to look at. No, you don't want this.
No?
Anyway, like, that was 615 baht for that lovely meal. Yeah, it wasn't like over the top, but yeah, it was filling and it got all those lovely flavours. But yeah, like getting back to the closing story here, it's just, if I can get a, what? You want something?
Yeah.
What you want?
I want to go shop this morning.
Shop? You shop?
Daiso. I want to see
Daiso,
something.
Daiso Japan. Okay, you can go in here while I wrap this one up. Yeah, so do I worry about all the negativity? No, I don't. This is one of those things. I think there is a certain intelligence that people lack these days. You know, when they come to the channel and you get these comments like, "Oh, did you know she's a ladyboy?" Well, I've been with her for 15 years. Do you think I don't know that? And it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. Like, if you look at the About page, like every channel does have an About page that tells you, or they try to tell you, each channel tries to tell you what they're about. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything. I'm trying to say it's okay to do the things you do because it's you. It doesn't affect anybody else. But yeah, I just have to laugh when I see the comments of like, "Did you know she's a ladyboy?" And I'm going, yeah. What's the point? Have you got a point to make? You know. But again, this is the way social media works these days, and you develop a very thick skin, and it's just water for ducks back, as they say. You don't let it worry you. You know, as long as I'm helping a small percentage of the population out there make a decent decision about whether retirement in Thailand and even early retirement, it's a bit harder and harder to do the early retirement things. In Australia, we have a thing called the preservation age. And because I was born in 61, my preservation age was 56. And of course that preservation age has increased. Although you don't get this, what they call the Social Security payments until you're 67, with some strings attached. And also, you are legally allowed to retire at 56 because of my age. So we'll deal with that. We'll burn that bridge when we come to 67 years old to see what we do there. But it was never in the budget. Maybe it's something that we can leverage just to make our life a little bit better. Who knows? Then again, I could have a million subscribers by in 4 years' time. Who knows, right? And then I'd have to worry about it because I'll have to be paying tax again. Oh my God. Yeah, why Thailand? Why YouTube? Why bother? I'll just leave you thinking about that one, okay? Peace out, guys, and we'll catch you next one.